Your emotions today. Congratulations first of all on a really big national record. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's amazing. I think I'm starting to get the emotions now. Yeah, today was great. You know, last night I went to bed and I had this feeling, and it was the same feeling I had the day before I took 2 meters for the first time. And when I had it, I just felt like God had put His hand on my shoulder and said, "Everything's going to change, but I'm with you, so don't worry. The whole world's going to know something that they don't, and it's going to change your life, but I'll be with you." And like it was the same thing last night, and I was like crying. I was like, "Oh, okay, tomorrow's going to be big." And so I tried to enjoy it, but I just knew that He was with me, and that just allowed me every high, everything, just to know like it's okay. Like I'm not alone, and I'm going on, and these women are jumping 2 meters, and it's all crazy, but like I'm being held. I'm okay.
What do you do in that moment then when you have that realisation that you've got that support and that belief that you know in advance, or you believe in advance that you're going to do that and you've got the potential?
Yeah, I know. It's stewarding it correctly. If you get overconfident, it's like, well, that you might ruin it. You know, I don't know. But I just need to keep the main thing. Like, all right, why am I out here? What am I doing? Like, I know that my sport. When I was 20 years old, I made that decision of anything that I do is going to be with Jesus. Like, whatever happens, because of that. Now that back then I wasn't anything special in the world's eyes, and now I've come to like the top of the Diamond League, and I realized I was like, the main thing is that I'm loved and I'm doing this, and this is my gift back, and just and if let's say I jumped 210, but I just did it all on my own strength and I was so focused, I would have missed everything. But because I had that joy and that peace, I was like, I'm going to enjoy this regardless of what happens. And 204 happened. So.
That's a really beautiful answer. So I feel bad now asking you about the numbers when there's such
I love the numbers as well.
Of course, I'll get on to that in a second. But I make that the 5th time for you over 2 meters this season. What can you talk about that once as a mark that athletes aspire to reach, you want to aspire to get to, and now you're regularly jumping that multiple times a year. How important is that for you to build that throughout the season and keep playing those consistent marks?
Yeah, I remember the first year I jumped 2 meters, I jumped it 5 times. So part of me, I sort of like have a competitive thing in my head of like, I know I'm in better shape than I was in 2021. Like we can do more than 5. But sometimes the conditions are like last week in Lausanne, or like some things happen. So going into it, every time a bar is set at 2 meters, I have such a history with it. I'm like, oh, I know how to jump you. But the 202 and the 204, it was really hard to not start overthinking or not wanting to change it. And I genuinely think it was because the competition was so good and it was so fast, I didn't have time to overthink it. I just had to do it. And so,
does that help you in a street meet then as well? Is there a little bit of a different dynamics what's being in the stadium?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just being around in the crowd, it's something as a jumper that is uncomparable. I mean, a stadium is amazing, but they're out there, But when you're seeing your coach screaming, like your friends, you can hear their voices and yelling. It's something that I think really brings the best for the high jumpers.
You feel it more out there as an athlete, the proximity of the fans kind of on top of you?
Yeah, absolutely. And if we get our own music, man, that's just another level again.
Okay, what would you choose, music-wise?
Oh, man, that's a good thing. I mean, because my jumping and stuff is, like, I really feel it's a gift back to God.
Yeah.
There's, like, a lot of things in a worship genre that I love. But one of the songs in church is called Praise. And from the moment it plays, it's like, oh, we have a history here. So, yeah.
I really like that. One more from me, and I'd love to ask you about the notebook, but talk to me about Australian athletics in general, because it's having a real moment right now. Across the sprints, the middle distance, the jumps, like it's absolutely fantastic. Just what's it like to be part of it?
Oh, it's amazing. And a lot of them are my age, so we grew up together. So I remember seeing Nina and Matt Denny get the trophies, and it became like you weren't that one person. It was all of us around. It was awesome. Thank you. I'm excited for Australian athletics, but I also feel like the best is yet to come.
No, I really like that. And very quickly, could you talk us through the notebook?
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by it.
Okay, so the notebook, I always rate myself out of 10 for each jump. Helps me strategically to do my training afterwards, knowing what to work on.
Okay.
So the lowest scores mean you've got work to do. But, I don't often get a 10 out of 10 jump, and I got that for the 202 and the 204 today. And so for me, a 10 out of 10 jump is everything that technically I've been working on.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
And that's actually worth more to me than a personal best is when I see a 10 out of 10. So to get 2 of those today, that was good. The 206s were getting a few 8s and a few 9s. There was no 10s there.
So what were you missing?
What I
Apart
was
from obviously
missing,
going over the bar.
you know what? It was my running technique about midway. I was trying to push too hard because I looked how high it was rather than just run properly. So that's telling me and my coach, okay, more running sessions. More running sessions when you're tired, like more under pressure. So it's things like that. For example, if it was the takeoff that was lacking, then I know, oh, okay, we have to do more plyometrics. So that's sort of how we measure it. Yeah.
That's interesting. Thanks so much. Can we grab a quick photo of you with the Nova? Is that okay?
The Greeks that came, there's a lot of Greeks came to show some love, and yes, I'm happy to.
Thank you. I've always wanted to inside it. It's fascinating. So thank you.
Greek sports.
All right. Thanks so much.